Hello, this is Pat Lynch, and this is the final recording of As the World Turns or Burns for this academic year. We're going to be, because we're at Lyon College, we're going to be wrapping up for the semester and then taking a summer break. But there's a big change that's happening, and I mentioned it in the last show, is that Producer Jayson, who's been diligently behind the board for, it's hard to believe, 3 years, is moving on, and we're going to just have a conversation where he can just kind of, share a little bit more about him, and I got probing questions. Hopefully, tears can be raised and everything else. But I look forward to it. But before we get going, Jayson, behind the board is
Russ.
Oh, there we
What?
go.
Yeah.
I cannot hear you. Who's behind the board?
Russ.
Okay, now we normally don't do a studio like a poll, but in the comments section, please put whether you want to in the future to get Russ on camera behind the board. Elusive, yeah. Everybody.
I think there's a conspiracy here. I think you're trying to move away from big government, and you don't want to be on camera because then they know where you're at.
The fans want to know. The fans want to know more.
You'll never believe.
Yeah?
That used to be a really big thing. I used to not want pictures taken of me because I was afraid the government was gonna lock in.
Yeah. There's an episode of Family Guy where Chris is like, "Oh no, is that an Alexa smart device or whatever?" And then they're like, "We got him." They finally got him on an Alexa.
Well, I'm sorry, Russ. Because there's a lot of very influential people in politics that listen to As the World Turns or Burns. So
The big man.
You may end up with your picture out there somewhere, but
They say the whole Trump family, this is their favorite podcast.
Yes.
Every morning, know how the
People are
briefings in the morning, is supposed to be, here's what's going on. It's this is what they said on As the World Turns or Burns this morning. And
all right. Well, Jayson, you're graduating.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're graduating? What's your degree?
My degree is in English.
English.
Yeah.
All right. And so kind of, you had a pretty abbreviated stay at Lyon, 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, kind of, what are your thoughts as far as your Lyon experience?
I want to say that it could have also been shorter too, because my career, had I done a little bit more instead of the semester abroad, I could have done more Lyon classes, and I actually could have been done in the fall.
Yeah.
Which would have been 2.5 years, which would have actually, according to Dr. Beal, would have been tied for the fastest an English major has completed the major, 2.5 years. So that was something I was like, dang, I should have done that. But also, it probably wouldn't have worked out, so it doesn't matter. But so 3 years, my stay was really abbreviated. And honestly, I don't regret going faster. I remember everybody said oh, it needs to be at least 4 years,
Right.
You're going to miss out on all that time. And it's no.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not missing my fourth year at all, I think, because I don't know. It's not that I don't like the college life, because I actually really enjoy college life, but I'm just so happy to be done, man.
Yeah.
I'm ready to be done.
All right. So what's next?
I don't know. I'm gonna air out some grievances though.
All
no,
right.
I'm just kidding. I'm not actually.
Well, we'll get to that in a moment. Yeah.
I mean,
Jayson Unchained.
I mean, obviously, I'm going to go back to Minnesota. I got an apartment.
Yeah.
I was actually just talking with Dr. Mielek, having a chat 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yo, what are you doing? What's going on?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm planning on going back to Minnesota and got all this stuff." He's like, "Wow, those pieces are really falling into place for you." And I was like, "Yeah, they are. They are falling into place." And it's kind of funny how that works, because 3 4 days ago, we had just got told that like the apartment that we were going to get was like, they called me and was like, hey, we can't give you guys that apartment. So,
Right.
And so we were like, okay, so we don't have anywhere to live. We're going to be homeless. Not actually, but our apartment idea was done and it was screwed. And I woke up Monday morning and I was all sad because I had to have a final exam. I didn't get my apartment. It was just like, the worst morning. And then I get a call at like 9:30 and it's these people at this like one of the dream apartment places that we applied to. And they were like, hey, we're finally getting to the 1-bedroom applications. And, like, we just want to say that you guys got approved for this. And I was like, okay, there it is. So then all of a sudden it was like, chat, we are so back, as the young ones say. So we came back. And so for sure, I'm going to get an apartment. I don't know what I'm going to do for work, though. I've been applying for like grant writing, copywriting, and all the things that end in writing. I actually applied yesterday evening. I applied to the state of Minnesota for like a publication editor.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, I'm qualified for that, but that is like probably not going to happen, just because it's like one of those really competitive jobs. It's like, you go on LinkedIn and it says like over 100 people clicked apply. It's good luck. So
but in the fall, you're going to graduate school, yes?
Yeah, I'm doing a master's. It's like, so technically how it works is it's like an emphasis. So it's an emphasis. So it's like the master's is like English, but an emphasis in screenwriting. So it's actually the David Lynch School of visual VA, like video and audio. So it's like filmmaking. So I am really excited for that. It's going to be a 2-year program at MIU, Maharishi International University. They are very big on, like working with indie filmmakers and people who don't want to go into like the major industry sectors. So like people who want to do more experimental stuff. And that's kind of why before David Lynch passed away, he endowed the school. And that was the main reason why he endowed the school was he started out as an independent filmmaker from a non-traditional avenue. Right. So he wanted to fund not just international students, but national students who would go through those avenues to, become filmmakers, whether or not they're big or not, but to make the films that you want to make at the level that you want to make them. So that's where I'm going in the fall, but that's an online program. So,
yeah, well, that's it, but it's still moving.
Yeah.
And so that's so that's kind of the future for right now. Let's go back and delve into the past. Oh yeah, so
scary.
For the longest time, I remember when I had a consulting practice, I wanted to get in, do a podcast, and part of it was I didn't really, it was like, gosh, does the world need another podcast, and does the world need a podcast for me? And it didn't really click till I got here at Lyon, and I thought this is perfect, and had an idea, went to RCast, which is the Arkansas Podcast Collaborative. It was like a Shark Tank thing, pitched an idea, and right there I knew that, okay, this thing had some legs to it. Ended up getting second place, as I always have told many times before, that I was crushing everybody. And then here comes this young woman talking about her podcast, a single mom with depression, and the judges tears were in their eyes and all that, and goodbye first place. But we ended up with second place, and that is like right when you all of a sudden came into the the whole KILT. At that time it was KILT Radio, but that's when we started really partnering, right? And then we ended up getting the studio time in Little Rock, and then that kind of gave us the blueprint of okay, here's what we want the studio to be. Only took us 3 years to kind of get it to where we want it, but
slow and steady.
But man, I remember that you it was like it's like, Jayson, I want this, and then it was like you just had like you had all the, it was like you were the unicorn that had the creative and the technical knowledge, and this really never could have been done, if you weren't there, So, but yeah, I mean,
I'm trying to pull up my because I have a picture of the day that I got, what's it called? The day that we had our meeting. I think it was August 21st or 22nd of 2023. And so I had taken a picture of like the little Google Calendar thing. And so like that picture like popped up like last year.
Yeah.
And was like, 2 years ago on this day. And it was like, wow, so it was like, it was really like kind of surreal because, I saw this job, because everybody was like, I'm not going to lie. Like when I got here, I liked it, but I also like, I don't know. I like the English program, but everything else I kind of like didn't really jive with. So there was like no avenues for me to like really just do anything. So I was kind of just like, sitting, doing my stuff. And the first week, I actually hated Scott's week so bad. I hated Scott's week so bad I didn't go to any of the stuff. I did go to the river or the boat.
You don't like mandated fun?
Yeah, mandated fun is not the strat. There's a grievance I will actually air out.
Okay.
To anybody in admin listening, you guys need to make Scott's week either
Scott Day.
Yeah, it needs to be like a day. I think like the boat thing is good, and I think that's a good thing to force. But all of like the like introduction meetings and like, oh, here's the movie on the lawn, and here's all this stuff. But also they try to like scare you into making it mandatory. And in the wise words of a awesome professor, Dr. Roddick Shulga, they cannot make you do that shit. So
there you go.
Yeah. Those are his wise words. So if you're listening, if you're coming to Lyon and you really don't want to do one of the mandated fun things, it's not mandated, I promise you. It may have an asterisk next to it and it may look like it's required, but they're not going to kick you out of the institution because you didn't go to the movie on the lawn, so.
So then you saw that I was in search of a podcast
Yeah,
producer.
I don't remember who, but somebody was like, dude, you got to get a job on campus.
Yeah.
And I was like on Handshake because like they sent out an email and they're like, here's all the jobs on campus. And it was like podcast producer or whatever. I don't remember what it was. And I was like, I do a podcast right now, I was already doing a podcast every week. I was like, this is kind of like right up my alley. And a friend who is no longer a friend that I did my podcast with, I told him about it and he's like, that sounds like too good to be true. And I was like, well, it's like I was like, it's just like an internal career thing. Like they send it out to students at Lyon. And so I applied and it was like right away, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to work out. And I remember like all the weird small meetings we had before we actually got anything started. And I remember like trying to figure out like how exactly we wanted to like translate the studio into our podcast into a real thing, because I had, when I was editing, I didn't have a laptop. I had my desktop, but I was doing most of my editing on my phone. So like the very first like trailer that we ever uploaded of Career Pathways was like completely edited on my phone, and it was like 3 different audio files just like melded together and like I don't remember, some audio app. And then we didn't have any video, so I was like, that was the one thing was like I always recorded like my podcast as a video. So
you remember our first show was? Who our guest was?
Yeah, it was Dr. Kennedy.
Yeah, Jayson Kennedy.
Yeah.
Creatively, we were going to cover all the different majors, and we started with the A's. So anthropology was right in line.
I asked him about that, if he remembers that, and he said he did. He said he remembered the one he said he remembered a lot more about was when he actually brought the bones.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that was a good episode. We did that 2024.
Yeah. But he had like because he
open the door for open the door for him.
Yeah, because he had the emerging
superstar. We were just talking about you.
Russ, can you get the door? Come on in.
Sit down.
Michael, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, grab the one right in front of the. Oh. And then there's a one of Pat with the hair.
Oh, yeah, that's my Malibu Ken look. Yeah.
Is that real?
No, that's Jayson going crazy on AI. Yeah.
God, the AI is actually so good at. I don't know how it did it. So it was like one of the only times I ever got AI.
You made it put on like a toupee or something.
Yeah.
No, that was just.
It does look that good though.
Yeah, he.
Oh, what is it? These books?
Oh yeah, these are just away the table now.
Yeah.
They're all like old Arkansas.
Are you gonna introduce?
I'll
I do have to run
I'll-
a little bit though, because
Okay.
introduce it. All right, you ready? Well, I need a countdown, man. I can't operate without it. All right. Well, we had a little. It kind of went off air for just a moment because we entering the studio was a special guest. Introduce yourself, sir.
I'm Dr. Radek Shulga. I'm in economics.
Yes, and he is the founder, the patron saint, the Ayatollah of rock and rolla, who was.
That nickname kind of got a bad rap recently, but
Who's Ayatollah?
yeah.
I have a good quote from Ayatollah Khomeini. You want to hear it?
Yeah,
The quote is, "Economics is for donkeys."
there you
Oh,
go.
there you go.
And so it was one that he founded KILT Radio. Gosh, now when did it get founded?
Long time ago. It was pre-COVID.
2012?
No, not that far back.
Uh,
I haven't been here.
2018?
I haven't been that long here.
Oh, okay.
2018 sounds about right.
Yeah, and we have a bunch of the KILT Radio posters now in the studio, and I was always envious because it seemed so all the shows were so cool. There were, students could just kind of go completely untethered and just
I let
do
them
radio.
do pretty much anything they wanted.
Yeah, which was
For
pretty
better,
awesome.
for worse.
Yeah. Mostly for better.
Yeah, for better. Yeah.
But but let's get back to the subject at hand. We're doing a fond farewell to producer Jayson as he gets on his journey. And we were talking about the first podcast that we did with Jason Kennedy, and then the second one. Yeah, that's when he brought in the skull with a with a bullet. Didn't it have it was somebody who got clubbed in the head. And
So he actually uses that one in class too,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
funny. He has
From his digs, archaeological digs.
no, yeah, it's not exactly from his digs, but the one he used in class is like it's a 3-bullet system. So
Yeah.
you have to identify. Shout out to him for teaching
Yeah.
us this. You have to identify like the bullet order of because it's kind of like low key like a gangster.
Oh, so it's forensics.
Yeah, it's like forensic. It was a gangster shooting, is what he said. Because so the guy got popped in the back of the head, and you can
Right.
see the bullet enter and go out the side, and then
They finished him off.
they literally
Yeah.
on the ground bop too, and that's like a classic gangster move. And so it was like which bullet came first, C or B, was the question. Because A is the easy one, it went through one side, came out the other. But B and C are right next to each other. So it's which one went first. And so you have to figure out like there's like actual like the way that the skull like chips and cracks, you have to see which one has more chipping and cracking. And so it's like C comes first and then B comes second because like they like crack or whatever. But yeah, so and then like after our first podcast, you were I don't remember if it was you or somebody was like, you got to check out the radio show the radio class or whatever, and I wasn't even a part of the radio class, but I was just doing radio stuff like
And then you guys took over.
we did kind of take over, but
It's fine.
hostile takeover at the.
yeah
No, it was a friendly takeover. I was kind of just burned out by that point. to be
Yeah.
honest.
yeah somebody I don't remember, but I remember because I was telling Robert about it, Robert Lee, and he was like, I feel like he does. This was the actual quote that he said. He's like, I feel like Dr. Shulga does that just so he can like get people free coffee. So, because it was like the free coffee every
Yeah,
Thursday.
yeah.
That's where the class wasn't it, in the Salty Dog?
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
That was an incentive.
it was definitely an incentive. I showed up just to get a lot of the free coffees too, because
It was also drinks, but it's back when Salty Dog had those nice smoothies.
Yes. I was just thinking about that. I used to get the blueberry smoothie all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my favorite. That and the mango smoothie.
And then they just completely shout out to the Salty Dog for like going full corporate big coffee.
Well, they switched the smoothies before the actual milk.
Yeah.
Now it's just
Now it's
powder.
it's a powder.
Yeah.
They used to
But that's
use,
not their fault.
it's not their fault. No, I'm just playing. But yeah. So we did that, and that's kind of like how I got into this group, of people. And then you were like, I remember like one day at the radio class, you're like, "Hey, are you interested in going to Poland?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so then I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, I'm doing it. It's happening." I told my dad, and my dad's like, "That's the stupidest idea I've ever heard. That's the dumbest idea." So I basically just I just applied for the class. I just did the little exemption because it's like a foreigner level econ class, and then my dad was like, "Why is the bill an extra $1,700 or whatever it was?" And I was like, "Oh, it's because I'm going to Poland." And he was like,
It was worth it though. Right?
It was, and also I like that you guys do it that way, because not only does it allow students to go, but also when it's on like student bills like that, it kind of counts under like
financial aid
and all that stuff.
payment
So,
plans and all that.
so like I was able to pay for like half of my schooling through financial aid. So
Wow.
yeah.
So
going
Radic,
again.
yeah, show
going
off
again.
the shirt. Yeah.
When are you guys leaving Sunday, right?
We're leaving Sunday. So this
Which-
is third time post COVID.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
when this episode comes out, they'd already be in. You guys will probably be already in Poland for like 6 days.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Now, Radic, I never had the joy of having Jayson as a student, but you did, right?
Yeah, he even took quantitative methods, right?
Yeah, I did.
He took my math class. It's basically a calculus class.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm terrible at math.
He was terrible at math. But he did all right.
Yeah,
He
I
worked
saw it was a
hard
B.
and-
I saw it was a B.
Yeah, he worked hard and pulled out a B. Yeah.
Yeah. So, because like I knew I wasn't gonna fail the class. That was the
Yeah.
thing. Like I knew I was at least gonna get a C. Like
Yeah.
even if it was a low C, I knew it was gonna be like a low C. Because
Right.
I'm good enough at math, just enough to like pass by. So like, because that's how I was in high school too. Like when I was doing like algebra 2 and then like those high, like I don't even remember like what was it? There was like.
You didn't take macro though. No, you didn't take macro.
No, I was really close to doing those because I was like,
Oh, for the minor.
if I were to come back for another year, I would probably just do all econ classes probably because I would want the econ minor because I'm pretty much, I have technically the foreigner level econ through the
electives
trip.
and all.
Yeah. And so that would be like the only thing that I would, probably do.
here-
But yeah.
I sense an opening.
Yeah, but I don't know.
return,
I don't know
yeah.
how that works. Can you do? Can you like do? I mean, first off, I don't think I would want to do it, but technically, can you be in like a graduate program while also being an undergrad program?
I mean, you could enroll as a non-degree seeking student, right? And it just takes a couple courses.
And then does that get
Like
you
it
your minor?
really
though?
wouldn't do anything for you though.
Yeah.
Like in terms of career or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Because
Yeah.
you're already getting a
Yeah.
degree,
Yeah.
and
So
you get a minor, but
yeah, that's not worth it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's what I would have done if I had more time. So, but my time frame didn't work out for that, and same with the film minor. I was really upset with that because like they didn't have Cody for most of the time I was here.
Yeah.
So like all the photography requirements,
Yeah.
I could never take them because nobody was teaching it, and so it was like. Kind of sucks, but but like the nice thing about the film requirement was like I technically like all my time at KILT counted for like all these like hours and requirements that you had to do for the film minor, and so like it was like a bunch of hours that I had already like done clear out of the water by like 2024. So kind of sucks, but yeah.
Now, did you both play chess?
we never played chess, did we?
We did one time,
Yeah.
but you smoked me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not good at chess. I'm really terrible at chess.
I'm not smart enough for chess.
But
so,
there was a really great duel between Dr. Connell and Shulga. And Shulga, it was kind of
Wait,
like
he won, didn't he?
yeah, but
Whoa.
it was funny because like Shulga had him pretty much dead to water, not dead to water, but you had him.
Yeah,
him
and then I made
pretty-
a stupid move. I got cocky.
yeah, he was trying to be a little too aggressive, and
Now, what's your overall record against John Michael in chess?
He also beat me once too.
Once out of
Yeah, out of a couple
count,
dozen.
yeah. Okay,
Couple
so
And he was so
thousand.
happy, and then he refused to play with me ever again.
yeah.
that's it. Yeah,
That's a
leave
jam
on a
way.
winning streak. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Michael
the jam
Jordan.
way.
Yeah,
That is the jam way.
Yeah.
I love that guy. Yeah, I really wanted to golf with him while I was here, but every single time I'm like, hey man, like I'm free this weekend to golf. He's like, okay.
Yeah. Now you came here was it a golf scholarship as well?
I came here
Yeah.
for a golf scholarship, and then
Yeah.
I didn't like flake out, but I had so I had originally came here. You guys probably both remember. I'm gonna say his name because he doesn't. I don't even know where he is anymore, if he's still around. But Michael Shed.
I do not remember.
Oh, he was the golf coach.
Before Parker,
Yeah. He was a
that's
golf
right,
coach,
yeah.
and I thought I really liked his vibe. I thought he was cool, and he was really interested in bringing in a lot of younger guys to kind of build out the roster. And then I got here, and it was oh, he's not here anymore, and oh, there's this new guy, and he's an intern or an interim, head coach, and
Right.
then it was a whole different schedule and a whole different thing, and I was and then also I hate college sports because it's you're trying to do your actual career, which is being a student,
Right.
and so the thing about golf is it's not I'm at the football stadium where I can just walk back over to campus in 5 minutes.
Oh, you have to go out there.
You have to go out to Eagle Mountain, and so Eagle Mountain's a 10-minute drive, and so practice would get done, and practice is required to stay until it's you stay until the bell leaves, the type of high school stuff. So you stay until the hour is done. So my hour would get done at 1, and I would have a class at 1.
Yeah.
So by the time I could even get, because then you're out on the golf course, so then you have to get back to your car. You drive back. It's you've already lost 15 minutes, and then by the time you get to class, it's you've already
Class
lost
is
20
almost-
minutes.
Yeah.
Class
So
is halfway through.
And so I couldn't do that, and I was is there some leeway? And he was well, here's the other schedule, because there's multiple blocks, and the other block had the exact same problem. So I was I
Yeah,
can't.
no, it's always difficult for most student athletes to
Yeah.
balance
Yeah.
it out.
And I was more focused on my academics too. And also then I had, got the job. And so I was I'm going to be making money. I feel like this is going to be a better move for me. And
Well, and you also, if I remember going way back, that you also potentially could have been a punter.
yeah,
For the football.
yeah, I tried that too. Cause I did some stuff in high school.
Yeah.
I played in high school, but it was very brief lived too, because also the schedule was not going to work out, which
Yeah.
really sucked, because I really liked doing it. And there was a need for it, because they always want to get new guys, but I didn't mind the training schedule. I actually thought the training schedule wasn't that difficult, because they don't treat kickers and stuff. Kickers and punters is just you do the workouts, and then you guys are on your own, because you're just working with the special teams
Right.
people. But the training schedule in the fall was it wasn't going to happen, because
Right.
with games and with all the travel and stuff, I was that's
It's a big commitment.
Yeah.
a much bigger commitment than I was getting, or I wanted to take. So
Well, here we are now.
yeah, I know. And here we are, doing, I'm actually pretty happy, all said and done, with
You
the,
specialize in this here.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with the time I've committed to this, because I feel this is pretty,
Yeah.
as quote unquote, this is pretty epic.
Yeah, and
So-
it's just the way it's grown. I mean, you guys really spiced up the studio, nice equipment, people getting trained.
Yeah.
It's a lot more professional than when I was running it.
Yeah.
That was a laptop and a cheap mic.
Yeah, it was a couple mics that and people just would have
Donated, yeah.
But it was a radio show. It was
yeah.
a different concept. So that. But yeah, the big. I was going to say big shoes to fill for Big Russ, but I think you're ready.
Yeah, I guess. I suppose.
We got to
You don't
get
have to
you.
be ready. You just
We
have
got
to
to
do
get
it.
you to do the outdoor voice.
Scream.
Scream. Well, all right. So, oh gosh, here's something. tell us about the film you're doing for Dr. Tebbets.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good
documentary. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm doing a documentary on Dr. Tebbets. It's pretty. It's
For our viewers, it's the longest serving faculty.
Yeah,
53 years?
56.
56. Whoa.
Damn.
56 years. Yep. He started in 1970.
73?
No, 1970.
1970.
1970.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice,
So
nice.
he and what's funny is he's been in academia for 60 years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
because like he graduated from his undergrad in 66 he graduated from his undergrad in 65. He did his doctorate, and then he was at a different small liberal arts college for 1 year, didn't like it, and he came here in 1970.
Yeah.
So he's been like 61 years actually, and because he was teaching undergrad during his doctoral program at the University of Arkansas. So like 61 years of higher education teaching. That is and that was the thing, was like, with people like that, it's like, how many opportunities are you really going to get to? Because like, even if a lot of people don't know him outside of Lyon or like outside of our community, which people do know him, but it's a story that's like so intriguing just to like tell people, because it's just so rich. And like, in particular, I think his community, and this was the thing I wanted to do, was not just his academia, but I wanted to highlight his community building, because he's really, really big in not just community, but also like preserving the history of Batesville, and not like the weird
And the college.
and the college, and not like the Southern weird antebellum history that like some of those, you see those weird documentaries where it's like Get Out 2 is being filmed, but like he's preserving like the rich history of like the housing and the college and like the historical sites, and like his house is like, and this is what he told me, and I'm just going to take his word for it because I believe everything he says ever. He said that his house is the 12th oldest functioning. So like, there's a purpose of the building, functioning building in the state of Arkansas.
I believe it.
His house was built in like 1863.
Wow.
Yeah. So super old house. And it was incredible. He walked me through his whole house, and we
You got the tour? I got that tour once too.
Yeah. And he like, and that's the best part, was like, because he's like, what do you really want me to talk about? And I was like, anything you literally want to talk about. I was like, because I guarantee everything in this house has, some sort of historical purpose or, meaning or something. He's like, oh, not really. And then we walk through, and he's like, you see this tiny light switch here. So actually there's a funny story. And it's like that with everything in the house.
Right. Yeah.
Here's a funny story, or here's a crazy historical thing. So like, he has these old light switches in some of the building, like it's like a push. It's not like a flip.
Right.
And so the reason why he has those is because when they were redoing the electricity, the wiring, he had asked the guy, like the guy's like, hey, I got a bunch of these old ones lying around. He's like, we'll take them. And they installed them in instead of the light switches. And they're so like cool because they're so analog. They're so clicky. Right. So it's super fun to play with. And
just sitting there. Click,
it is. And
You're like a little kid.
Yeah. I literally was. I was like a kid in a candy store. It was like, in the houses, it was so incredible. So we did that. I got some alumni to show up.
Yeah.
I got Alexis. She's a grad 2021. I don't know. You probably don't remember, but and then I got Drew from Cindy's, and then I got Cindy. So I figured they were three good because they're kind of too modern and an older alum. So and Drew was like in Tebbets's, everything. Like, he was an English major, and I think Tebbets was his advisor.
Did you talk to any people around town that know Terry?
I did not. I plan on having some. I'm gonna have Cindy reach out.
Because there's a lot of people that.
Because I want to do some like over Zoom interview stuff of people who are interested but aren't in the area, or are in the area but can't really make it out. So. That's kind of, we're kind of like in the final stages. I got all the in-person interview stuff done, so now it's going to be compiling that into this thing. And I was going to talk, I emailed Carol, and she was really interested in this. So and Tebbets, because Tebbets was one who mentioned this, was doing like a showing at the Melba.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Like a premiere.
Yeah.
And so like we could invite alumni and make
Yeah.
it into a big
Students
event
and
and
faculty.
students and faculty. And so, students and faculty would get in for free and, and
Are you gonna let him see it before you
so
release it?
I probably will. Another thing, this is an interesting
Oh,
thing. This is the big thing that I was really
Yeah.
trying to get. He has been Louise Eldrick is this author. She's a Native American author from Minnesota,
you
and
mentioned
he
this.
has been really big into her work because she is very big. She's been considered close to like writing like Faulkner.
Yeah.
And so this conference,
And
that
he's a
doing-
Faulkner guy.
Yeah, and he's a Faulkner guy. So this
Right.
conference, he's been like really studying her work. Well, she owns a bookstore in Minneapolis. Actually, like where my apartment is, it's like a 5-minute walk from my apartment. So I was like gonna try to coordinate that because I had mentioned like, hey, like I'm gonna be living in Minneapolis. And Tebbet said, I will fly up to Minnesota to do an interview if you get me to set it up. So I was like, that would be so intensely awesome for this
Documentary.
to have him sit down with like somebody who's like he considers like because to him it's like a legend, a legendary author, to sit down and like have that conversation because he's like, I just want to talk about Faulkner so bad. He's like, because like they always mention her work and like how Faulkner
influenced it.
influenced it and all this stuff. So but yeah, so we're hoping for it to be pretty big, and I think it's going to be pretty good.
So do you have like a completion date in mind?
I want to have the release. So if we do this stuff, like if somehow this stuff with the interview happens with the author, I'm trying to shoot for like early 2027, like January or February.
Yeah, because it's gonna take time to edit it and put it together.
There's a lot of footage and a lot of audio. But if we don't do that and I just get done by the end of May here with compiling all the footage, we're trying to shoot for like October of 2026.
Yeah.
So this October, which would be good. I don't want to do November or December in January. It's just like
People aren't here really, and
people aren't here. Weather can get bad,
Yeah.
and February is when it starts to kind of the waning of that, and October is like the build up to that. So I feel like it's a good deadline to have for those two things. So yeah.
Have you done any other films?
Nothing major. This is going to be I'm just trying to build out my portfolio, right? So
Right.
this is like my major thing that I'm doing.
Well, you got this and you have 2 novels.
Yeah, I do. I have 2
you don't do
published.
little reels on TikTok or nothing.
No, I don't do the TikTok. I did do the short films for Cassidy.
Yeah.
And that was professionally done, but those are just like short skits. I do want to do a short film this summer of a project that I had submitted to MIU for my portfolio. It's called Snake Bites, and it's about like a couple that is like kind of a interestingly like it gives like a kind of like I mentioned Get Out. It has like a weird vibe where like something is going on, but you don't really know like what the problem is, because it's just like too good to be true type of situation. So that's I love horror in particular when it comes to filming. So that's kind of like where I'm at. So
Do you have another? Speaking of novels, do you have do you have anything in draft, or are you concepting anything?
Yeah, actually, I just finished it in April. I finished it is a sequel to the last novel that I got published.
Yeah.
That is it's basically like in a direct sequel to the novel, but it's in the really like I finished the manuscript as in like I finished writing the entire thing.
Right.
It is in like the super early stages of reworks and editing, so it's nowhere near.
How much do you write per week? Like hours or words or?
When I was in France, which this is an outlier, but in France it was like at least 2,000 words a day.
Yeah.
So
That you were kind of secluded.
I was very secluded.
Good
Here
for productivity.
Yeah, it was great for productivity. There was one day, actually, I marked it as my longest day, probably ever as a writer. And I wrote all day because I was so into these chapters, the scene. The scene spanned this scene, and I mean the scene, this place, this part of the novel spanned a couple chapters. I think I wrote like 10,000 words in one day. And I went back and I cut it down to like like 6,000. But yeah, that was like one of my most tiring days. But usually, like when I'm here doing stuff, I try to get like a couple thousand a week.
Yeah.
Because I did like the second book is called Murders in Minneapolis, and so when I started writing it, I started writing it in August, and I completed it in May. So it took me a full academic year. So I wrote like, I want to say 200 pages in the fall, and then about 200 pages in the spring. So it's about 400 pages before edits and reworks. So it's probably going to be closer to like 350 when all said and done.
Wow.
So,
well, you're an English major. What advice would you have for future students in terms of being an English major? Because it's one that everybody always says, can you make a career out of it? All the practicality arguments that you hear, but you've made it work. I mean, what would you have as far as advice for future Lyon students that might be interested in English?
I would say, actually, in particular with the English classes, actually read the damn texts. That I swear, it sounds so stupid because you think like English majors would be the ones that would actually read. And I'm not going to say names of people, but there are a lot of students in the English major that do not read the text. Because a lot of the classes are about like finding pieces of the text that you want to analyze and bring up in class, or in particular with some professors want you to like do like a, like this, what part stuck out to you, or like an annotation journal.
So you end up bringing like excerpts.
And so like a lot of students, and not a lot of students, a few students, there's a few bugs in there who just, they read until they find an excerpt they like and they close the book. And not only is that not good for English reading, but that's also not good, especially for like students who want to go to law school, because there's a lot of students who want to go to law school through the English major. And so they think like reading the fiction and all that stuff is not what I'm going to do because, I'm going to law school. But like, that's not the point of why you're reading the fiction. You're reading to deeply analyze and create critical thinking skills about what you're reading, which is pretty much everything you do in law school. Right. That is like literally law 101, right? I'll give you an example from the Tebbets documentary. Alexis was talking about, because she's a lawyer, and so she was talking about how like that is like the one thing that she brought in from Lyon into her law school was that critical thinking of like of being able to go into a text and deeply analyze it. That's like basically all you do in law school. You go through text, you go through documents, you go through the law and what it says and how to interpret it, and you're just doing all this stuff, and that's all you do in the English major.
Right.
So just like actually, whether or not you're going into law school or you're wanting to be a teacher, which I think being a teacher, you should also read all the text too, because you probably want to understand it for your students, right? Read the text, and then don't be mean to people either. There's some people that are a little, not mean, but kind of get cranky when it comes to like writing papers and paper requirements. I would just say do the work and read the text because it's important. So, yeah. And also, we were talking about this earlier, but in the wise words, you said, because I was talking about the mandatory events, like, just if it says it's a mandatory, event, it's like, oh, we're watching a movie on the lawn. You don't want to go to it? Don't go to that shit. Don't do it. Like, seriously, like, it is so not worth it as a student, especially if you have other things that you're doing as a commitment, like actual homework. Or
let's go there now. Advice. Because we know
skip the mandatory events.
All administration, student life, they're avid listeners of the show. Yeah. So I'm sure they're now at attention, wanting to hear some parting wisdom from Jayson Nichols.
Wait, parting as in leaving, or parting as in having a party?
Parting, ing. Yes.
I would say don't make. Okay, and this is probably not going to be an issue anymore, but there was a specific person who made some students do mandatory things that they did not want to do when they were already very busy. Don't make students do that, please.
This is very vague. I mean,
okay, I'll give you an example.
Do some push-ups.
No. I'm talking about I'm talking about in particular with student government stuff. Starting to get less vague. I don't want to go too much in depth, but I was forced to be on a specific thing that I can't really talk about. But don't force students. Don't force students to be on that. That should be that you should not force students to not only take.
It's like jury duty, though, right?
Yeah.
It's like jury duty, but the other problem is it's like imagine if it was jury duty, but you're not getting excused from anything at all, and you're still required
And you don't get paid.
and you don't get paid.
Yeah.
Pays, yeah.
So you're not getting paid. So if you're going to make students do it, pay them.
All right.
Or don't make them do it at all. Because I had to take a lot of time away from doing school. That was really, really.
But it's, you could argue that's part of being a part of community.
I don't know about that. I just
It's
think.
your social obligation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't bring your social credit score down.
All right. Anything else?
No,
But I agree. Like, there's just a lot of like unnecessary bureaucratic and hoops and
yeah.
we don't really think about the unintended consequences and the side effects. We're just like, oh, this sounds like a good idea. Let's make students do this.
Yeah.
And then students don't want to do it, and we're like, why don't they want to do it?
Right.
Yeah. So if you want to keep your student retention rate above 70%, don't make students do a lot of mandatory events that they don't need to do. Mm-hmm. So that is my parting words.
There you go.
That's part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
And give them voluntary events that they want to do.
Yeah.
I think that's the other side.
Yeah. You guys gotta do a little better with that, but
Give them things so they can get involved in, like KILT.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah. Also, if you're a Lyon student or faculty or anybody, do something at KILT.
Yeah.
Yes, do something at KILT.
Do an interview or
We love the work. Believe it or not, we get paid to do the work, so we love to do the work. And also, it's fun, and you will have a blast doing it. I know a lot of students who just do it for fun now after starting for classes. They were forced to do it for a class, or they wanted to do it for a class.
So maybe we should force students to do this stuff.
But
You're just contradicting yourself.
well, okay. When I say like force,
So don't make students do mandatory stuff, but also force them.
Well,
to do
but
stuff.
I think that
the difference is like this is a class
Right.
compared to like
Yeah, at least you get credit.
Yeah.
you get some.
Like-
Even if you don't like it, at least you get
Also, I think they probably chose to do the podcast because it was either that or write a final paper. So I think doing a podcast is much better than
Yeah.
writing a final paper. So
Well,
do your
and,
podcasts.
And we had a podcast class
Yeah.
this semester, and
It-
had
it was all
four
right. It was pretty
students,
good.
including.
You just got to keep the mic unmuted, man.
Including who?
Me?
Big
Okay.
R.
On the board.
Big R.
Okay, the big R. And what was? Give us the name of your podcast.
It's called Bogan.
And what's Bogan?
It's just about complaining about stuff. I pick a topic.
There you go. That's your
and
show
I,
right there.
and
That
I
is my
complain
show.
about
Yeah.
it.
Like what? I mean, give it to me. I'll complain about anything.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
Russ,
Geez,
it's go
legendary
time.
soul.
Just
Yeah.
say you got a guest right here. So,
Okay. I'll meet with you next school semester.
all right.
Yeah, I'm from Eastern Europe. We can complain about anything.
But yeah, we'll be back with Bogan in the fall.
Oh yeah, go on the
Yeah.
Poland trips.
Yeah,
Do it.
yeah.
I don't know
or
if
any of international
Yeah,
trips.
the
Not
international-
just me.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
other trips.
Well,
too.
don't you want to go to Hungary next year?
I do. I don't know if we'll be able to plan it out. It depends on the ticket prices and all that.
Oh,
but
man.
any international trips that you're like, oh, I don't know because of the price, do it. It's so worth it.
Yeah.
Like actually,
If you go at any other point in your life, it'll be much more expensive.
Yeah.
It might seem like, because you're a poor
Yeah.
student, it's like a lot of money, but at least my trips, I make them cheap.
yeah.
My favorite memory of Hungary was we got to know a couple that ended up getting married in Hungary, and we went to their wedding, and then kind of one of the things for our visit is that the groom worked at the Budapest Opera House.
So you got to go to it?
Yeah,
That's a famous one.
I know. It's just this, and he was just he couldn't wait for us to go, and so there it was that it was a Wagner opera with Hungarian subtitles that went on for 4 hours.
Was it the Nibelungen lied?
What?
Was it the Nibelungen lied?
I don't. It was
the ring cycle.
Yeah, it was like.
Did it have the lady with the horns?
Yes.
Okay, then it was the Nibelungen.
Yeah, and it was just like, and it was it was cool for about 20 minutes, and then it's like
4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost went to Budapest when I was doing all the trains and stuff.
Yeah.
oh, it's so cool.
I actually almost got on the wrong train when I was going to Poland last year, and like the train line was like,
Through Germany or something.
yeah, it was. Well, I was in Austria, and so like the train line was like, oh yeah, this one's to Budapest and this one's to Poland, or this one's to Krakow, and it was literally like they were like one number apart, and I was on the wrong train, and I got off.
But
I would have been in Hungary, and I would have been hungry in Hungary, and
Every time I do the Poland trip, like half of it is pretty set. It's basically Krakow. But the other half is kind of open. So when first year we went to the mountains. Last year,
right.
Zakopane.
Last year we went to Lithuania. This year we're going to the coast, Baltic coast. And yeah, maybe next year we'll do Hungary if we can.
Yeah. No, it's great. Yeah, because we spent time in Budapest. The other memory I always love is that that the bride's parents lived way on the other side, close to like towards Russia,
To like Romanian border? Or?
yeah, and it was a small village. He was the pharmacist, and they had like the pharmacy in the front of the house, and then their home in the back, and her dad played like tennis. So I brought a tennis racket to give him, and this was back in the 80s, so they were just coming out of the Soviet Union, and so they didn't have like any kind of decent equipment. So all of a sudden he has this
nice
American racket, and so he set up a special event, and they didn't have a tennis court, but they had at the elementary school they had a basketball court, and they put a volleyball net in between and taped things off. And then the word got out that
And then you were like whipping everybody up.
well, I wish. Yeah, they said the American champion is here,
Oh my god!
and everybody was taking their shot at me. It was I had
from what I hear, Pat has been like beating people in tennis locally.
Did you beat JM when you guys played?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What JM told me later is like the key to beating Pat is to make him run.
Yeah. Okay, but that was, Hungary. Yeah, that was just wonderful.
But we also have other trips, right? We have a trip to Peru. We have a trip to Mexico. So
maybe some other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know there's
Pat
some
wants to do an Ireland one.
Yeah, there's some plans for trips next year to Scotland, maybe.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. All right.
That'd be cool.
So, Jayson, do you have any ideas or plans for like continuing podcasting, doing something on your own?
I don't know. We'll see. I would love to have like a podcasting job. That'd be so cool. I applied to some podcasting jobs.
I remember.
I don't know. This type of thing would be what I want to do. I don't know if I'd want to do one on my own again.
Yeah.
Are you more like into the sitting here side or the engineering side?
I kind of like the engineering side more. I don't mind sitting here. When I did the Beastcast, like I did both, right? Because I did it on my computer, right? And I don't mind that, but also I'd want to like, if I do a podcast, I'm going to set up a thing like in my house, and it'll be like a studio like this where we're like sit on the couch and I'll have an ATEM switcher and stuff. Cause I don't want to do it again over like Discord. Mm-hmm. It's not cool, but this
have to run quick.
Yeah. We're ending now.
Yeah,
I think
I think that's a good point.
I still have finals to give and to grade. So.
Oh, okay. And I'm still in denial. I think Saturday it'll become reality that you're leaving, Jayson. And but I can always just tell you that you're.
I'm going to come back and visit.
Yeah. No, I really am. And if you don't, I'll come up to Minnesota. And
I'll
come
probably
see
be
you.
up there. Still got friends up there too.
Yeah.
So.
I know. You said you were maybe gonna go up there. So if you guys ever come up there, you just let me know.
Perfect.
I will be around. And
Well, that is it. That is Producer Jayson. Our the final show. But thank you so much. Cheers. Yeah. All right, and thank you for listening, watching as the world turns or burns. It's been a great year. I'm just thinking of all the different shows, and we had covered a lot of topics with Brendan and Kieran. We got our first batch of hate mail, which was well worth it. So thank you, Patrick the plumber. We appreciate that very much. It's just been a real good experience. And then we'll be on to everything new starting in the fall. Right, Big Ross?
Right.
We'll work on the enthusiasm. Yeah. All right. So take care, and we will see you again in August.
This podcast is sponsored in part by Lyon College and KILT Studios. Thank you to Jonah Winter for the intro and outro music.